Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is a roaming prepper. Thank you for joining me today. Uh, this coming next few weeks, as I mentioned in a previous video, I'm going to be super busy. I do have one live stream set with Prepper Now, unless one of us has to shuffle for some reason on Thursday of this week. Other than that, I won't be doing any lives for a couple of weeks purely on the basis of just the work schedules. Absolutely crazy. So what I want to talk about today is the financial situation going forward into Q3. Well, we're in Q3 now, into Q4 of this year, and then Q1 of 2023. What exactly are we going to get ourselves into? What are we headed for? So I'll be right back, and let's talk about that. Welcome back, everybody. This is a roaming prepper. Don't forget to, I just spilled water on my cat. I'm sure he's thrilled now. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, I typically will premiere these videos, so I try to be in my live chats this week, and the next week maybe not. So if I miss it, please put any questions or comments in the comment section below the video. Alternately, you can also reach out to me at theroamingprepper@gmail.com. I'll be happy to answer any questions I can. So, going into the financial sector, I like to listen to the business folks. I've said that before to my followers. I think everyone should pay attention to the business forecasters, because these guys got to get it right. If they screw up, their company will go under. So they got to do this right. You can say what you want about Wall Street, but the corporations, the forecasters, they screw up, it can cost millions, if not billions of dollars. So I've been watching not only the forecasters, I also listen to Economic Ninja and Epic Economist. I like the way they present themselves. I like their style, and they're pretty cool guys to listen to. So among the things we're seeing, and I'm starting to see now, Walmart has had an epic year. Like they hit their profitability targets, their margin targets, their return on dividends. They lowered their inventory turns, went down by 44%, which is a big deal because you think about it. Walmart has massive inventories, and if they can get them out the door 44 days faster, that's 44 days faster they get their cash, right? You kind of follow me there. So this is a big deal. And they're cutting millions, if not billions, of orders for Q3 into 2023. Target's doing the same thing. Now you can check this out on Bloomberg, CNN, and these are where I check: Bloomberg, CNN, and not Fidelity. It was I think Yahoo Finance. Anyway, you could do your own research on this one. These guys are cutting a lot of their orders, okay? You don't do that unless you think you're not gonna sell stuff. Now keep in mind, we're already in the almost end of September at this point of 2022. We got Halloween, followed by Thanksgiving and Christmas. We're going into the holiday season, and they're cutting orders, not just for summer of next year. They're cutting orders now like stuff, which gives me the impression, and it gives a few other people the impression, that they're expecting the inflation to finally flatten the consumer spending. And when that happens, their companies are going to take a hit, and they know it. So they're leveling off their inventory, so they're not being exposed as much to capital taxes for any inventory they have going into next year. So that I found interesting. Obviously, we still have supply chain issues. There's still a shortage of drivers, so there's an additional cost there. The FedEx CEO went so far to say that he said it outright, he is expecting a recession. And I will tell you right now, the FedEx stock tanked. He knew what he was saying, though. CEOs don't say that kind of shit if they don't think it's going to happen. One, it's morally, ethically, it's the right thing for him to do. Two, it increases his reputation and the reputation of his company in that they acknowledge and they know what's coming and they're sharing it with their shareholders. So it was a good move on his part. The stock takes a hit in the short term. His reputation gets bolstered in the long term. So bravo to him. But yeah, so what he said was, and I'm trying to remember the quote, was along the lines of, our business reflects the industries as a whole. It reflects your business, like us. So when we see things start to crater, it's because other business is cratering. So yes, even FedEx is seeing it. Now, it gets better. Yeah, it's like, as seen on TV, it gets better. To add to all this, you got the inflation, you got the supply chain, consumer spending is going to start getting squished going into the holiday season. As you get into the colder weather, we all know that the situation in Europe is disrupting international oil and gas market very badly. What's happening, though, is because of the shortage, as we get into the colder weather, people are going to start seeing those electricity and heating and fuel costs spike again. Okay, normally in the summer they get high because it's driving season, it's also hot, people are running air conditioners, people are driving, going on vacation. Not a surprise there, right? We all knew. Going into next year, though, they're expecting a longer term disruption. Now, with Iran starting to have issues, Mexico's oil workers and Argentina and oil workers all threatening strikes, that can make things worse. And one analysis, and I'm trying to recall if it was on Forbes, had said that they're expecting the average heating bill for the winter months to be upwards of $1,000 higher for the average home. Now, they didn't quantify if it was 1 month, which would be awful, or spread out over the 3 or 4 months of the winter, which would, be a window. Either way, even if it's spread over 4 months, that's $250 extra in heating or electricity that you may get hit with on average, right? Now, keep in mind, these economists, they can't go into every single scenario, so they take bigger numbers and they average them out and say, okay, the average home is X, the average bill right now is Y, and this year the bill will be Y plus $250. They're expecting energy bills to go up for house heating for homes, and that's going to be a problem. Europe is going to get hammered, especially if our friend Vlad decides to get aggressive and shuts off the gas to pressure Europe to back off so he can complete his conquest, whatever it is he's trying to do. That's going to be a bad thing. That's going to hurt the economies in Europe. Sorry, the sinuses out here. Economies in Europe, and it's going to hurt all of us in the international market. Again, that goes without saying. You have the fertilizers. You have fertilizer shortages coming from Russia. India has just announced that they're going to cut back significantly on their rice exports. They're a top exporter of rice. Ukraine can't get their wheat out because their freaking wheat fields are full of mines, so they're trying to demine their own country while they're fighting a war. A lot of moving parts. So again, you're looking at those, what you're looking at is a cascading event. You have this cascading factors all landing one on top of the other. That will cause everyone a world of hurt, even in the West, even in the US, Canada, where Argentina, where most of my followers tend to be in the Western Hemisphere. Yeah, you're going to get hammered. Now, what are your takeaways? You know my style. I'm going to point out something bad, and then, all right, now, as an engineer, you try to problem solve. How do we fix this situation? So, a few things you can do. One, winterize your home. If you haven't done so, and if it's within your budget to do so, winterize it. Close those leaky windows, seal them. If you can replace them, great, but those are expensive. Another cheap way to save money in the winter, change your light bulbs from incandescent to LED. You can save yourself a boatload of money doing that. and it will cut your usage quite a bit. I would stock up on batteries, stock up on propane, stock up on any kind of supplemental fuel. So in the event, for whatever reason, there's a shortage or your fuel gets cut off because of some issue or shortage, you can at least light your home, heat your home, and cook in your home. Now remember, if you're using propane in the house, you need ventilation. A lot of people say it's safe. Still ventilate, you never know. I'm a fan of taking the extra step just to be sure. So those are some of the things you can do. Now, they're on the Motley Fool, fool.com, they have a emergency fund calculator. So if you're wondering how much money you should save up in an emergency, they have a calculator you can fill out, like, what do you need for rent, what do you need for car, food, fuel, whatever, and it kind of calculates it out. But you guys can do that in a notepad with a calculator. You can do it with Excel. Either way, I highly recommend, with the issues, you may want to have a little extra cash if power goes out, because demand will be high. If there's some kind of other issue in the economy, you have some physical, tangible cash with which to exchange trade. Now, a lot of people say, oh, well, if the market crashes, money isn't worth anything. Well, eventually it will be worth nothing. But remember, even 1929, when the stock market crashed in the Great Depression, cash was still valuable. Now, as the weeks went on, you needed more cash to buy what you needed. But the people who were up front and paying attention had their cash on hand, and when things started going wrong, they went and bought the bread or whatever it was they needed to the house in cash while the cash still had value. It will have value until it doesn't. So don't blow off having a little bit of money. At the very least, have 72 hours, a couple of $100. I've told people, if you travel like I do, or you've experienced hurricanes like I have enough for a hotel room, a day's worth of hot meals, and a tank of gas. You do the math for yourself and your situation, but if whatever you come up with, whether it's 200 or 2,000, put that money aside as you can and budget it in. Don't be reckless. Don't miss a house payment putting money away for an emergency that has not happened yet. Instead, put a little bit away, whether you coffee can it or put it in a separate savings account, or you just take the cash and stick it in the safe, whatever it is you're doing. Take those little steps now so you're not in a bind later. Keep your tank full. Prepper 101, Hurricane 101, Earthquake 101, you guys get it. Have some, make sure, be diligent in your chores. In other words, do your laundry on time, do your dishes, etc. Because if the power goes out, if there's a shortage, if there's a blackout like we had, high demand during the winter, and then Texas got hit with that storm and the power went out, something like that, you have your laundry done, your dishes are done, your food is cold, you know what I mean? You've got everything taken care of. Those little things cause a pain in the butt. So if you're an investor, talk to your investment or financial broker. Ask them how to hedge in this kind of market. Do you buy more stocks? You buy more bonds? Where do you put your money? Precious metals, bonds, treasury bonds, yields, whatever it is you're looking for. Do your homework now. Again, I've used the analogy before. It's like, and there goes my cat jumping over the fence here. It's like a boxer. The boxers know they're going to get hit. You're going to get hit in the ring. Doesn't matter how good or bad a boxer you are. Everyone gets hit. Question is, how well do you take the hit? You roll with the punch? Do you take it and come back? Do you roll and move? Do you dodge the punch? Or do you sit there and get hit flat? That's what you're doing here. So anyway, guys, that's my summary for this week. Again, oh, my nose. God, guys, I'm sorry. This week, because I'm in these training classes, I know I'm not going to be able to do a Tuesday live. I'll be struggling to make the Thursday live with Prepper Now, but I think I got it under control. But in any case, be aware the big companies are already hedging. They are already maneuvering. I know even my company where any extra equipment is going to cold stack, right? We've got the people we need. We didn't overhire, even though we probably need some more people. We're trying to keep that balance between just enough to get our obligations done, but not so many that if we take a dive, everyone has to get cut. They're playing it smart in my company. Hopefully I'm still employed at the end of the year. Next year, you know how it goes. But the companies are maneuvering. On top of that, our strategic oil reserve is very low. So that concerns me a lot. Between the energy, the financial forecast, the cancellation of big orders, we're gonna get a whammy this Christmas. This holidays, this winter, we're gonna get whacked. The question is, what have you done to be ready for what's coming? At the end of the day, preparedness, being a prepper, is simply taking the steps you need to be ready for an expected or possible hardship, so you can survive and then thrive and go about your life. That's what it comes down to. So guys, be calm, be systemic, but pay attention. You see these things, they mean something. Understand them for the clues that they are, and you guys will do fine. In the meantime, God bless, Godspeed. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, if I can't get to them in the live chat, put them in the comments below. And if you want to share some knowledge with your friends and your fellow followers, put it down there. You got any other tips on how to save money in the winter, things you can do to winterize your home? We're all ears, and it'll help all of us. So until next time, Godspeed, and I will see you at the next video.